appointment, so I get out and under her feet. I gave 24 years defending your right to vote. So May 6th, please consider me as your clerk of court. Thank you.
Ms. Nadine Bradley Hodge.
And I am Nadine Bradley Hodge, and I want to thank everyone that's involved in putting this forum on. It is important. It's important to us, but it's important to the citizens. Again, I grew up here in Rutherford County. I'm a lifelong member of Holy Springs Baptist Church there in the community I live in. My husband says I stand up for what I believe in. And I think that is an important part for the person that leads the clerk of court office. I need to be there to bring leadership, positive leadership. I will be available, I will be reachable, and I will be dependable. Vote Nadine Bradley Hodge as your next clerk of court. Thank
Mr. Jerry Weiss.
I would just like to say my reputation in the community of serving you, serving the citizens of this county, is already established through my work with families in need, with children, with youth, with adults, with people who cannot advocate for themselves. That's what I already do, and that relationship of trust with the community is well established already. I plan to continue that work, foster it, continue to support anyone that I supervise as I always have. I ask you to vote for me in early voting on May 6th for Jerry Weiss, Clerk of Superior Court.
Thank you, candidates for the office of Clerk of Court, for coming here this evening. We will now take a brief intermission and allow the sheriff candidates to get situated. So, thank you. Candidates, please answer your question and only your question. The audience will refrain from outbursts of any kind, except for now, as we give you gentlemen a warm round of applause. We will begin with a 90-second introduction, starting with you, sir. Thank you. Sorry, Sheriff.
Hi, I am Jack Conner. I'm a candidate for sheriff of Rutherford County. I hope you remember me in 2006 through 2010 when I was a sheriff. And I want to be your sheriff again. I started my career as a police officer in the town of Spindale, which I served 30 years. I retired from the town of Spindale and was asked several times to be sheriff. And so in 2006 I ran for sheriff and retained that job. And I hope you feel like that I did a good job for 4 years. I feel like we've done a really good job, and I stayed there until I got beat in 2002. And I look forward for another chance to be your sheriff again. And we won't get into all of my experience and stuff now, because I know there's going to be another question. I appreciate the effort.
Thomas Jefferson, for having me tonight. My name is Daniel J. Good. I was your sheriff from 1990 through 2005. I have 36 years of law enforcement. I love law enforcement. I love to serve the people. You elected me 4 consecutive times, and at the risk of sounding egotistical, I think that's a record in this county. Having served 4 consecutive times. But I thank you. I'm going to be your servant as sheriff. We'll talk more about qualifications, I suppose. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Don R. Huckabee, and I'll put the R in there because that's the way it is on the ballot. I have not been your sheriff, but I have been your deputy sheriff for over 33 plus years. I went to elementary school here, graduated from Tri-Community, then went to Chase High School, graduated from Chase High School, attended isothermal, and then I went to basic law enforcement training, got a waiver when I was 19, and went to it, and then when I turned 20, Damon Husky swore me in October of 1980, and I worked as a deputy sheriff under him until I took a leave of absence and went in the United States Navy for 4 years and served my country. And I come home and got my police card the night I got home and went back to work for Damon Husky the next day. And then I spent almost 5 years in Forest City Police Department, but then I came back to work for the Sheriff's Office under Ed Searcy in his 3rd year. So, but anyway, I've got plenty of experience. I just retired this past December, and I'm wanting the honor and privilege of being your sheriff. So please go out there and vote for Don R. Huckabee tomorrow, Tuesday, or May 6th. Thank you.
Good evening. I also would like to thank Mr. Ramone, Mr. Elwood for allowing us to be here tonight. My name is Chris Francis. I am your sheriff. I'm also the Republican candidate seeking re-election for this office. I'd like to tell you that I was a graduate of Chase High School, being a native here from Rutherford County, and graduate in 1992 from Chase. Also received an Associate Arts degree from Islip Community College. Later I went to Appalachian State University, where I received a Bachelor of Science in Criminal Justice. I spent the last 18 years with no breaks in service, serving the public. Most of those years have been at the Sheriff's Office. I've also been a Hickory police officer, a Forest City police officer, and a Lake Lure police officer. I've held many titles and many ranks, all of them are working jobs. I would like your consideration May 6th. Thank you very much.
It's nice to be back up on this stage tonight. I believe I sat on the 3rd row the 8th grade year, walked across the stage and got my diploma. Anyway, things have changed over the years, but I've got 30 years of experience on this side of the table and seeing people suffer from injustice that I feel. But needless to say, we can talk about that later. It's good to be here tonight. It's good to see the crowd tonight. It's good to see Thomas Jefferson take this old building and revitalize it. You know, when you go to school when you come to school to a place and it just folds up and closes down, you know, it's a bad feeling. But I remember when y'all have come a long way. The school buses were owned by Darrell Hargrove, and I come over and helped him put a transmission in one time when he was supplying the school buses for the school. I'm Jason Weiss, seeking the Democrat nomination for sheriff. I'm a conservative Democrat. I believe in the right to bear arms, and I also believe in the preservation of all our constitutional rights. Jason Weiss for sheriff. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Weiss. We will begin with you for a question that all of our candidates will answer. You turn on the news, and what do you see? School shootings. We're not immune here. What steps or training would you as a sheriff have for our educators to protect our county schools from such a tragedy?
Thank you for such a great question. Seriously, folks, you're a law-abiding citizen. You work in a school and you can't even protect your own self or your classroom. There's something wrong. Some of my colleagues up here think we need more resource officers. I'm not against that, but where's the money coming from? I said I was a conservative Democrat. I believe you pay as you go. So, you know, if you can operate a weapon efficiently, why can't you tote, you know, and protect your classroom and your school against danger? It's a no-brainer, you know. What was the rest of that question?
Or what steps of training would you as a sheriff have our educators to protect our county schools from such a tragedy?
Well, you know, we need to realize we always think about things that's out there where it happened, and it's on the TV. No, it'll be here one day. We need to start taking preventative measures now, and that's why I'm all about the Volunteer Advisory Board, to help me come up with some efficient plans that we can better protect our students, our schools, our roads, our highways, our public, our seniors. You know, the choice is yours tonight. Do you really care about Rutherford County? Do you really want positive change? Is 4 years enough wait 4 years to have another voice to say something, or do you want a voice all the time? Consider what I bring to the table. Jason Williams.
Thank you for that question. What I've done as sheriff and through my experience as a school resource officer in the past, I have came to Mr. McMullen and I've asked him if we could train the administration and the teachers here what to do. What can you do firsthand with improvised weapons? What can you do to seek out and look for a troubled youth so you can get him help before it comes and becomes that bad? Also have had training with first aid for those that work here. I've also done the same with Rutherford County School System. I've reached out to Dr. Mason and I've offered the same training to her, teaching both me and my staff, administrators, and many teachers already. But I am happy to say Mr. McMullen went out first and he got all of his teachers, both at the elementary school, middle school, and high school, this training. That way they can help protect the kids better because they're going to be the ones that are here first. I also have school resource officers in every middle school and high school. Since I've been sheriff, I've also got grant money and put 2 SROs in elementary schools. I continue to work the safety of the kids of Rutherford County. Thank you.
We have the best schools and we have the best teachers in the state of North Carolina, and that's my opinion because I'm proud of our county. As Sheriff Francis says, the most important thing is to train our teachers. We need to train the administrators, and also we need to have the students involved, because it does not do any good if we train the teachers and we train the administrators and we do not conduct training with our students, because if a situation goes down, you've got the students themselves have to understand what their role is in this program. So I would work with the teachers, the schools, the superintendent, and develop programs where we would come into schools during school hours and have like a mock drill. A bad guy's just come into your school, what do you do? That way the students are involved, the teachers are involved, and the principal is involved. Another thing for security is limit the access to that school to that front door, that front office door. Lock down all the other doors. That way they have to come through the front door, they can't come through any side door or whatever that is. But training is very important, and I'd make sure my officers are trained and we would work with the school system. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, protecting our children and our school teachers should be the most important thing that we're talking about here tonight, perhaps. I started the school resource officer in this program, in 1990. It is important that school resource officers know what they're doing in that particular school. How will I make this school more safer and all of our schools more safer? There needs to be more school resource officers. I think that this gentleman alluded to, yes, it's going to cost money, but if we can't spend money on our children who are could be in harm's way, what can we spend it on? More school resource officers, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Allude to your question again one more time. Would you read over it one more time?
Sure. You turn on the news and what do you see? School shootings. We're not immune here. What steps or training would you as a sheriff have for our educators to protect our county schools from such a tragedy?
It sounds like to me you're asking the question if I would want the school teachers to have training and be able to carry a weapon. Is that true?
Not necessarily.
Okay. Well, we had a question pop up earlier, one of the other forms about the teachers carrying a weapon through school. And it was discussed that if they were properly trained. I mean, I don't know how many people I hear about, but I bet you if you had a show of hands, you'd probably be really excited or maybe enthused about